Hi Nick, this is your tutorial video on how to access the Bowie Tour website and make some changes. So first of all, I've sent you an email with a link and a username and a password. So if you just click on the link and pop those details in and then click on sign me in. That will basically take you to this screen here. You will get some messages over the right hand side about payments being due. You can completely ignore those. I have no idea why they come up, so just completely ignore that. Ignore everything else across here as well. The only thing you want to click on is on the left hand side where it says websites. Click that. That will basically bring up a little preview of your website, and then down here you have edit website, and just click on that. That will basically load up my system, which is called Bramble. So on my broadband connection it loads pretty much instantly. If you're on a slow connection or on an older laptop, it may take up to 60 seconds for that to load up. So just click on that and it will take a little bit of time, or it may be instant if you've got a good connection. So that will basically load you up to the home page. You'll see all sorts of strange symbols and things on here which you may not understand what they are. The best thing is leave them. They're all set up to do with the way the site works on tablets and phones, so completely ignore anything like that. Also, your slider images will show as one on top of the other, but obviously that's not how they appear on the website. They scroll between those images. So again, you can just completely ignore how things are looking in terms of that. One thing I'll say about the sliders is don't change or replace the sliders. If you want to do that at this stage, let me do that, because they need to be resized and recompressed to the correct dimensions for that slider area. So for now, I would just leave those as they are. Basically then, everything you come down to and click, you can see that you highlight in this green box, which means you can then go in just like you would Microsoft Word and make any changes that you want to make. Then you have the publish button if you're happy with the changes. One thing I will say is remember you are working on your live website, so if you delete loads of things and make a lot of mistakes and then you click the green publish button, you have actually made those changes live. So just be a little bit careful when you first start. If you do make a mistake and you accidentally delete a whole row that you didn't mean to, like that, you do have at the top here an undo button, which will put that back to how it was. And if you get in a real muddle and you're not sure if you accidentally delete 2 or 3 things, or you move something and you're not sure what you've done, as long as you don't hit the publish button, you can just leave and you haven't made any changes and saved anything then by not clicking that green button. So that's a good tip if you're exploring and experimenting and practicing. Don't publish until you're happy with what you've done. So just to recap, you scroll down to any section that you want to edit, you click it, it highlights in that green colour, which means you can then go in and edit. And you can go through, remove words, again undo it if you don't want it, add words, and navigate around and change whatever you want to in terms of that. So that's getting you around editing just the home page. Another thing I will say is don't change the font sizes. You can do that over the right hand side, but everything's been optimized for tablets and for mobile phones. So if you go in and make the text much bigger or much smaller, someone on a mobile phone is going to have a strange experience. It'll either be too small to read or too big, and it'll cause them some strange layout problems. So don't sort of play too much around with the font sizes, just concentrate on making any text changes or additions that you want to make. So that's the home page. So to navigate between other pages, you just click up here. Every page has been given a fairly sensible name, so you should be able to see which page you'll be looking at and editing. So for example, the About page will take you to the About page. You'd scroll down. If you want to add and change text within there, you can obviously do that. Add a bit more text, change a bit more information. Again, when you're happy with what you've changed, you've got the Publish Change button at the top. Same for each tour, so each tour page has its own, like the Beckenham tour has its own page. Again, you would go through anything you want to change or alter, dates, times, descriptions, go through and alter those as you need to do that. So fairly straightforward. You can see it's pretty easy to use. The whole thing's designed to be easy to use, so hopefully you'll find it pretty straightforward to do that. Images are a little bit tricky. You can replace images. You can click on it and then choose your new image by clicking change, and then you will just drag from your desktop your new image that you want to replace. The only thing I will say about that though is you don't want to be uploading sort of 5 to 10 megabyte huge photographs to the website, because what happens is it will slow it down quite a lot. So if you've got something like Photoshop or something like that, where you can make the images a little bit smaller, that does help, because obviously what you don't want to do is upload a 90 centimeter wide photo for a little small area like that. So the general rule for photographs is keep them about 30 centimeters wide, then they're okay and you can upload and change them. So images are a bit tricky, but again, you could give me a shout if you need a bit of hand changing images for now, but really what I wanted to do on this video is give you access to the site and get you able to change the text, so I can cover images in another video or go through that with you over the phone if you really want to start changing some images. So that's the basics, if you like. I think you've got another tour, double tour, coming up soon. I can't remember if I left one on here. So yeah, there's a page here called double tour. So if you clicked that, that will take you to the last one that I did. Again, what you could do with that is go through and change the date and change the time and change the description, alter all that text as you wanted to, and then save those changes. And then to put that in the menu is a bit fiddly, so you may need to watch this video back again to understand how to do this, but I will just quickly cover that. So at the moment the double tour is not anywhere in your menu because we're not using this page, but to put it back in, you'd go up into settings, you'd go across to menu, probably you would put it under the tour page, I would imagine, rather than have its own button. So if you just scroll down to that, and you'll see down here you've got the Brixton tour, the Soho tour, the Beckenham tour and the private tours. Any that you want to remove in the sub menu, you just highlight over and you click the little dustbin, and that will take that out of your menu. So if you wanted to remove the Beckenham tour, just to recap, you go into settings, go into menus, go into whatever sub menu it was, so the little book tour sub menu. If you wanted to remove a tour like Beckenham, for example, you would go in and you'd hit the trash button, and that would then come out of your menu. And if you want to add one in, similar process, go into the book tour sub menu where you can see that you've got those sub menus, and basically add a link, call that double tour. This bit's a bit tricky because you have to do it twice, so you have to choose a random page and then go and choose the page that you wanted, so double tour. And then basically what you're making sure is that you've got the name of the page and that this little link here is filled in with what it should be linking to, so in this case the double tour page. Then you would hit publish changes, and then what you've then added is you've added that double tour into your menu, and that page is now active and live. Again, a lot of people get very confused with that and it doesn't make sense, so watch the video back. It is very important to make sure you do select that menu page twice to make sure that this is actually filled in. If you publish a page in a menu and there's nothing filled in this section, it's going to link to absolutely nowhere. So just make sure you choose a random page, then you choose the page that you actually want it to link to, and that the two then make sense, and then hit publish changes. And again, if you come to that menu and you think later on you want to take the double tour menu out, just scroll over to where it says double tour and click the dustbin. Double tour is then completely out. And again, if you've made a massive mess, like I've just made changes and alterations, I don't really want to save those, so I can just hit leave the page, don't publish, no damage is done. So I hope for now that covers the basics. It gives you access to your website, it gives you the ability to make text changes on any of the pages that you've got. It gives you the ability to go onto the double tour page or any old pages that are on there, and update the information and put them back into the menu. And obviously it goes without saying, if you get stuck or you're confused about anything, give me a shout and I can explain it over the phone or via email and give you a hand with it. But hopefully for now that will get you up and running, and thanks for watching.